coast is moving west. We're glad you're with us for a second hour of Happening Now, everybody. I'm Jen Lee.
A lot of people still dealing with it right now. I'm John Scott. Heavy rain, strong winds, severe flooding, leaving millions without power from the Carolinas to Connecticut. President Obama has declared a major disaster that makes federal help available. At least 33 people are now reported dead. More than 8 million homes and businesses have no electricity. Here in America's largest city, there is no mass transit. New York City's bridges and tunnels, schools and financial markets remain shut. The stock markets could reopen tomorrow. Only emergency workers are being allowed across some of the bridges. And the city's biggest airports are closed, stranding passengers from coast to coast and really around the world. FlightAware.com reporting 800 flights already canceled for tomorrow. That is on top of some 15,000 flights that have been scrubbed to this point already. A major fire burning 80 to 100 homes in one flooded neighborhood to the ground. Parts of 2 nuclear power plants were shut down late Monday and early Tuesday, while another one was put on alert after waters rose 6 feet above sea level. Blizzard conditions dumping heavy wet snow on parts of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Maryland. And severe flooding cutting off many communities along the coast of New Jersey, stranding people who had decided to ride out the storm. We'll get to meteorologist Janice Dean in just a moment on the latest storm track. But first, Rick Leventhal, live in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, where pounding waves punched through the sand dunes, pushing the ocean right into that seaside town. All kinds of damage, huh, Rick?
Yeah, John, and cleanup can't really begin until the roads are cleared, and that's just starting to happen now. Look how short this parking meter is now. A couple feet of sand beneath my feet. And you see now a front end loader here at Point Pleasant Beach clearing sand off of Ocean Avenue, which was a raging river last night. Some of these beachfront homes lost the front of their homes, and there is sand in their living rooms. But come around this way. I just want you to see, looking south now on Ocean Avenue, just how bad it is. There are rolling dunes on the street that in some cases are about 3 feet deep. And there are many homes along this stretch of the Ocean Avenue that are heavily damaged, if not destroyed. I talked to one homeowner, his mother's house right on the ocean, he said is a total wash. And there are streets behind us here in the community that are underwater as well. Of course, this is just one of dozens and dozens of towns up and down the New Jersey coastline that are in deep trouble right now, John. More than 2 million people in this state alone without power. And again, they can't really get in to assess damages or clean up their homes because the situation here is so bad. In fact, there are communities to the south of us that are completely locked off from the mainland, and we are as well. Until these floodwaters recede, we can't get off of Point Pleasant Beach.
What about power? What about the power lines? Are they down? Is there a chance they're going to be able to get power back fairly soon?
Well, the lines appear, at least here, to be okay. You can see that the power poles running up and down the Ocean Avenue here, and the power's been out since early yesterday. We're not sure if they turned it off as a precaution or if it just went out on its own. We did see a major transformer blow last night. The glow of it lit up the horizon. They have clearly a lot of issues to deal with before they get the juice back on here, though.
Yeah, what a mess. Rick Leventhal in Point Pleasant Beach. Rick, thanks.
Amazing to see that parking meter.
Yeah.
That gives you some perspective, doesn't it?
3 feet of sand they've got to clear away there.
Well, Hurricane Sandy, as Rick just showed you, is really pounding beach communities from Virginia all the way up to New England and putting towns underwater and leaving millions in the dark. Peter Ducey's live from Dewey Beach, Delaware. So, Peter, tell us a little bit about how folks in Delaware are doing. What's the power situation like there?
Jenna, the last update that we got from the governor here, Jack Markell, on a conference call about an hour and a half ago, is that 40,000 homes and businesses in Delaware are still without power. They say that there are 90 areas in Delaware across the state that are flooded right now, and that almost 1,000, about 970 people spent last night in one of the 6 Red Cross shelters that was spread out across the state. And the big thing that the authorities are still trying to get out to the folks in Delaware is that even though the rain and the wind mostly is gone, now is not a good time to go back and check on homes and businesses in the evacuation area. And here's a good reason why. Before Sandy, this want to see right now, or really ever, until local authorities can come in and clear the area and tell people district by district that it's okay to come back.
Peter, good thing that you're prepared. It looks like you got those boots on that hopefully will protect you, at least walking around to look at some of the damage. You're showing us that parking lot there. What about the roads, around the area where you are? Can people get out?
We saw earlier, Jenna, this morning, not a lot of cars on the road, but right now, the roads are mostly clear. There are still a few that are blocked off by the police, but all morning long on the main drags where there was some junk that had flowed in from the bay or from the ocean, just random shells and rocks and some other sea trash. They were moving off to the side of the road with snow plows, so the roads are mostly clear, but there are a few where the police are saying you cannot go past, and that's actually one that's not too far from here. So we don't really know how bad some of the roads are, but that's another point that the governor made earlier today, is that right now Delaware missed, it was not as bad here as they thought it was going to be, but that there are some roads closed, 40,000 homes and businesses still without power, and even though it's really hard,
AJP, drive smart, man. Safe but smart.
The East Coast monster storm Sandy is now pushing further inland. It is likely to dump even more rain and even snow on millions more Americans. Meteorologist Janice Dean live in the Fox News Weather Center. When you first told us about this storm, JD, you said, let's hope I'm wrong. Unfortunately, you were not.
Thanks to the National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service, they really were working hard to make sure that we got this storm as right as we possibly could and warned as many people as we possibly could. And I just want to say hats off to the first responders, the firemen, the policemen who are going out there and risking their lives to save our lives. So we thank you because the pictures are devastating, unfortunately. So let's take a look at our storm system. It's still quite a monster. Unfortunately, it is going to weaken in the days ahead, and we'll start to see the cleanup along the coastline. But you can see just the massive size of this storm system, still up to New England, back through the Midwest. We're getting blizzard conditions across portions of West Virginia. And, of course, the winds are going to be in excess in some cases of 30, 40, 50 miles per hour. We have strong wind advisories up for the Great Lakes, where we can see wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour. So this is going to affect a lot of real estate. Wind gusts that we saw yesterday when the storm was making landfall, 90 miles per hour, 94 miles per hour along Long Island, along the Jersey Shore areas, in some cases that we have not seen the scope of the damage yet. The wind gusts as we head through Wednesday, again, as the system moves north and westward, and the low pressure will move into Canada, but we'll still feel winds really in some cases 30, 40 miles per hour well into Thursday. But the good news is the coast can breathe a sigh of relief a little bit. I just want to show you the future radar. As this low moves into Canada, we're still going to see the outer bands of the storm system, certainly through Wednesday and Thursday, but we're still seeing snow into Thursday evening, Friday for the mountains of the Appalachians, especially West Virginia, where we are getting those blizzard conditions. So we've got a ways to go, John Scott, but again, people pull together in these kinds of times, and we're hoping that this is no exception.
Yeah, but it just seems like the endless storm. It's just going to keep cranking and cranking and cranking, isn't it?
It is. Unfortunately, it's going to be with us for the next few days.
Wow. Janice, thank you.
Well, Janice has mentioned the snow is just as much a part of this story as the rain and the wind and the flooding and everything else. Here's a live look at Beckley, West Virginia right now, where the storm is already creating some of these blizzard-like conditions. And just take a look at nearby Flattop, also in West Virginia. People there are just trying to dig their way out of their driveway. I believe that's the lake in the shot that you just saw. This area is expected to get at least 3 more feet of snow in the next few days. Joining us on the phone right now is West Virginia Governor Earl Ray Tomblin. And Governor Tomblin, it's my understanding that you just got off a phone call, a teleconference call with the president. What can you tell us about that call?
Well, the president had asked all the governors of the affected states to join him on this call, along with several mayors of hard-hit cities. Basically, just say that that whatever resources we need as governors or elected officials, he would do everything he could to try to make sure those resources get to us as quickly as possible. So we were just, each governor was, telling what the needs were and if they had needs. And I think the president has approved all the declarations that have been requested from the various states that were affected by Hurricane Sandy.
Governor, what does West Virginia need right now?
Well, our biggest concern right now is the amount of customers out of power. We've gone from 140,000 customers at 6 o'clock this morning. Now there's over 275,000 customers without power. That number continues to increase as the snow continues to come down, bringing down trees, bringing down power lines, and obviously we were, that's our biggest concern right now is how we get the power back on. With having planned for this event, we've had our Department of Highways along with our National Guard, which I've deployed, working with the power companies to make sure that the roads, the highways are cleared of trees and debris, so the power company can get in and get the service restored as quickly as possible.
We're seeing some of the trees on the screen right now just filled with snow, heavy branches hanging over a barn just there and also hanging over a road just earlier. Governor, how about your family, where you are right now? Do you have power? What does it look like outside your window?
I can see the snow coming down. I'm at the Capitol right now, and snow has been going most of the night into the morning. It's a wet snow. There's not a whole lot of accumulation. Most of our accumulation is in the higher elevations. I know around Snowshoe, over Pocahontas County in the mountains of West Virginia, we have over 2 feet of snow currently, and it's still coming down about an inch an hour. So, we're continuing to wait out to see how long the snow will continue to fall. It's been predicted it'll go into tonight.
And not typical, Governor. This is not what you see in late October?
Absolutely not. A lot of the leaves are still on the trees, which doesn't help things with the heavy snow. It has a tendency to bring the limbs of the whole trees down a lot quicker than it normally would if they were not there.
Governor, great of you to make time for us today. It's important that we keep an eye on all the states affected by the storm, not just some of the coastal communities we've been paying close attention to, but also a state like West Virginia. We look forward to checking back in with you, and best of luck, of course, throughout the next several days, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as Janice said, more snow on the way.
That's right.
Wow. Travel nightmare for thousands of air passengers all across the nation stranded by Superstorm Sandy. Air traffic grinds to a halt as New York City's 3 major airports are still closed. We'll have an update straight ahead. Plus, the storm's impact on the state of New Jersey. Governor Chris Christie there saying it will be another day or two before we know even the full extent of the damage.
The level of devastation at the Jersey Shore is unthinkable. And we know that there are many people who own homes, who we've evacuated, who are going to want to get back onto the island to assess the damage to their homes. We are nowhere near being able to let you back onto the island.
Every year since the Halloween death of the great illusionist Harry Houdini, they have attempted to contact him.
Houdini, are you here?
Now, for the first time on SiriusXM Radio Classics 82, here are the 1936 Seance.
We are waiting, Houdini.
For the little ones, the Absolutely Mindy Show has the Story Pirates performing fun Halloween stories.
And then Halloween night, it's the 10th annual Pumpkin Jam, the soundtrack to Trick or Treat.
SiriusXM 70.